Yeah. I work with people all over the world, and one group I'm working with in DC. When I met them, they probably had $100 million worth of assets under management. Now they're approaching $1 billion. I've got another group that I took from 400 or 500 million to over $1 billion. A lot of it is, number one, you don't know what you don't know, and all you know is what you know. So number one, it's the awareness of things that you don't know, and the keys to success and scale are twofold. Number one, leadership, delegation, motivation. You got to become a leader, delegator, motivator in order to scale an enterprise.
Right.
And that sounds easy, but delegation is an art. Being able to delegate efficiently and to be able to understand as a CEO what your role is and the team that you need to build and how you need to support yourself in that team. So that's one, is putting that structure together. The other is understanding the difference between small deals, less than 10 million, and the bigger deals, 50 to 100 million and up. So I get people to transition into the larger deals and understanding how those deals work, where to get the capital, how the financing works for those deals, and more importantly, how to raise the equity for those deals. Because a lot of people just don't know how to raise 50 million bucks if they need to raise 50 million bucks. And there's two things that are key to these, the ability to be able to do these and be successful at it. Number one, it's what you know, and it's who you know. You need to have the right information and know the right things. And then once you know that, you need to know who to bring that to. So you got to have the right network, and you have to have the right knowledge to bring to that network. And once you have those two things, then you get to the point where you have a problem like me, where you have more capital than deals, and you have sophisticated capital that understands and has the needs that you need to fulfill. They're looking for opportunities. They're looking for deals to deploy capital in. Once you're proven as an operator and a sponsor and you've grown, like I said, they don't want you putting money in because they want to deploy as much capital as they can. They're not worried about skin in the game. That's a less sophisticated investor concern. The more sophisticated investors, that's not really a concern. And then the other thing is, a lot of people have a goal. I want to get to $1 billion in assets under management. And I had one group specifically that I was working with. And when they told me that, I said, that's great. I said, but that's where you begin. So it's like martial arts, right? A lot of people will go into martial arts to get the black belt. And a lot of people think that's the goal. My goal is to get that black belt. Then once you get there, you realize now I'm ready to begin. And that's what that whole process is about, is to bring you to the point of awareness to where now you're ready for your journey. And that's why there's 10 degrees of black belts, because you're a beginner. You're starting all over again once you get it. Same thing with real estate investing and development and investing in general. Certain levels are necessary to get you to the point to where you're ready to begin. And $1 billion assets under management, really, that's not huge in the whole scheme of investing and developing in real estate. So what I did was, I'd never built a house before I started. All I'd done is little remodeling projects, things like that. So when I realized I wanted to be a home builder and I wanted to build multi-million-dollar homes, I went to the best companies in the area and hired their best people to come work with me. So, you'll hear this, in the world of investment today with what's going on with SPACs and things like that, and companies growing, and you'll hear about, a Facebook executive getting recruited here, or a Google executive getting recruited there. What you do is you go to where success already exists, to companies that are like what you want to be, and you learn from them and you hire their best people. So that's how you grow and scale a business. You hire people that have been there and done that ahead of you. I never went to college. My CFO was an MBA. I learned from him. So I hired somebody who had the pedigree, had the credentials, had the education. He taught me. My bankers were all MBAs. A lot of my employees that work for me were all college grads. I learned from all them. But more importantly, I went to companies that were where I wanted to be. I modeled what they did. I hired their best people and let them build the company for me. I led them and provided them the opportunity to be successful. But more importantly, I turned them loose and let them do it.
Great.
Amazing.
Wonderful. On the projects that you're currently involved with, do you utilize a syndicated model, or do you still use that kind of a joint venture structure?
Yeah, it's more of a joint venture structure, or it's a fee-based fee-based business model for investors. I may not even be involved. I'm just facilitating it for investors. So, again, I have a lot of capital looking for a home. So I don't need to syndicate. The resources that I have are unlimited. So, there's less good deals than there is capital in my world. So I don't really have to do the traditional syndicated route where you bring in 10, 15, 100. I mean, a syndication is just pooling capital to do bigger deals. So in essence, a joint venture is almost like a syndication. You just have less partners in it. Oftentimes, and the structure of the deal and the agreement are a little bit different. But I don't know. I think the most investors I've ever had in one deal is probably 10. Now that's in real estate. So that's in real estate. So every real estate deal I've ever done, I've never had an active investor or an active partner. I've always been the lead. And they've come to me for that reason, for my expertise, and they've relied on me for that. And then I allow them to participate with me in the deal because they're putting in the capital. But they need me. I'm the reason that that they come to me so that I can facilitate the transaction. In equity capital in companies, it was different. That's where I had an operator. So when I'm doing a deal with a company, if I'm buying a company, starting a company, building a company, it was never me. I always had an operator and I coached them and they ran the day to day. So I wasn't involved in that.